Today, Google released its new Gmail interface to customers as an option. If you look in the lower right-hand corner of your Gmail, you'll see an option that says switch to the new look. Now this will become mandatory and will actually be done for you over the next few months, but if you want to give it a try now and start getting used to it, you can do so by clicking this button, switch to new look, and then it tells you, gives you a little preview. You can say go ahead and switch, and then you're going to get a new looking window. It's a lot cleaner, a lot less lines, and I think it's going to look pretty good. And the first thing to remember is don't get worried about the things that look different. First off, look for what's still there. I can automatically see my compose is still there, my inbox, and my labels. My other labels are still there. The message area is exactly the same in terms of content. I've got the ability to star or select items just like we did before. And we have the who it's from, the subject, and when it was sent. It's all still there. Notice, however, that the toolbar at the top has changed and is much cleaner until I actually click on an item. Once I click on an item, then I get the option to put it into a folder, report spam, delete, etc. So on the surface, everything is still very, very similar. Now let's look at a few of the changes. First off, again, you lose a lot of the previous lines and separations between different things, but by doing that, it makes it a little cleaner to read. Now for some folks, this might be too much space between the messages. For some folks, it might be not enough. You can change that now by clicking on the settings, which they've moved from the upper toolbar. You can still access it up here, but now they've moved it down to this area. So now I'm going to click it to compact, and you're going to see it squeezes everything in nice and tight. And if you have a lot of email, it might make it easier to read. For some folks, they may not like the fact that everything's scrunched up against each other. So again, it's your preference on what you'd like to do. I'm going to go back to the comfortable screen. One other thing that you'll notice is that they've made a big difference so that no matter how small or large the resolution of your screen is, that the Gmail will flex and adapt to the size of your resolution of your screen. So that's kind of a nice thing. One of the first things I'm going to recommend you do is come over here to the right, click on the gear, and then click, which is settings, then click themes. And with the new system, they've added some nice new, what they're calling HD themes. I'm going to click the, let's go ahead and try to do the mountains here. And then we'll just go back to my inbox. And then you can see immediately it gives it a lot less of a stark feel with having some color in there. On the very bottom of Gmail here on the left hand side, you're going to see there's a little chat button and then there's a gadget button. So if you have gadgets like I do, like the calendar, they have the invite a friend there, or any other gadgets you've added to your Gmail, you get to those now via this little button here at the bottom to toggle those on or off. Next, what you're going to find that's new is at the very top we used to have mail, contacts, and tasks, and instead of having those exposed, they just tell you where you are by clicking on the option up here on the left. I've saved two of the newer features for last because this is what they're really touting. One of them is my favorite feature in all versions of Gmail, and that is the thread feature. Threads are how Gmail groups together your email. It was a very foreign thing for folks who first started Gmail because instead of having to hunt for messages you sent to someone or their reply to you and have them spread all around your email box, Gmail was the first to group these together. So in the new Gmail, it's a little bit easier to read when the things were sent and who sent what, and you can read the first couple words of each message, and then you can click to open up which one that you want to read. So it does help improve reading your threaded messages. One thing that has not changed is if you want to add someone to your address book that's currently not in there, you can just simply hover on their name in a message and then click More and then click Add to Contacts. And do remember also something that has not changed is remember to print messages. Use this little button at the top of each email that says Print, or underneath the drop down arrow here, Print, to get a page that's formatted perfectly for printing. Don't hit print in your browser. And then the last most touted feature that Google is crowing about in this new release of Gmail is the search. So if I want to search for my entire email box for Evernote, I can just type it in and hit enter, and it brings me up all of my items related to Evernote. Now the other thing that they've done in search, however, is if you click the drop down box, there's a little bitty inconspicuous drop down box here, then you can use this little form to narrow down what you're looking for even further. I've never found that the searching the email was that slow or tough to begin with, but this particular form may make it even easier for a lot of folks to get to their email when they want to find it. So those are some of the new things in the new release of Gmail. Don't be scared if it's something that bothers you. You can change back to the old way of doing things by clicking on the gear on the right hand side and then click revert to the old look temporarily. But keep in mind, this is going to be a permanent change at some point in the next few months. So there's a quick overview of how to use and some of the changes in this new Gmail format. And watch helpmerick.com for more tips on using the new Gmail. But for sure, all of the old Gmail tips that I have at helpmerick.com and on YouTube are still available and still applicable. Good luck.